Welcome back to the Rules of Engagement. We just wrapped up game number 2. That was a huge game. A lot of awesome stuff happened in that game. Before we jump into game number 3, let me remind you guys, if you last time it was kind of long, if you missed bits of it or, couldn't quite take it all in, or you want to recap those games, whatever it is, everything we do here at MLG comes out within a couple hours on YouTube in 1080p quality. All you gotta do to grab it, go to youtube.com/official MLGESC2. Bring over this website here and hit the subscribe button because we need more subscribers. Call of Duty's kind of crushing us. We can see them. Call of Duty guys over there got well over twice our subscribers, so let's try to play a little bit of catch up. But yeah, all of our stuff out here, all in 1080p quality. We got playlists. You can leave comments on these videos, and we actually, the videos aren't all one-way communication. It's not all us giving videos to you guys. You guys leave comments, we read them. We at the office here read those comments. We do comments of the day, so we're like, this comment's cool. Let's talk a little bit about it. So you can interact both ways. Comment of the day videos, winter season showdowns, top 10s, rules of engagement, highlights, all kinds of cool videos. Just go take a minute or two to check it out. youtube.com/official MLGSC2. But now, let's jump into game number 3. At this point, the series is tied up 1-1. And first thing we're going to talk about is adapting to a unique map. Some type of new architecture makes the map a little different, how you can adapt to that. Talk about how to execute an early gateway attack, and then talk about some possible defenses against an early gateway attack. So, talking about a unique map architecture, this map is Core Hall City. What makes it so unique is that you've got the natural inside the main, a single ramp is defending. You can defend both bases by discarding a single ramp, right? So that makes it, and the ramp's not too big. It's a pretty small ramp too. So, and it's a long walking distance. You got to go, play a little weird music as you walk across the map. Long walking distance, single it's not the tiniest ramp, but it's not the huge ramps that you see on Antigua Shipyard or etc. It's kind of like a Shakura's Plateau ramp, right? I mean, not that we play that map anymore. So it's really easy to basically, you can go Nexus first, or you go Gateway in case you go early pool, then Nexus, then Gas, then Psycore, and you can basically never get a Forge, right? So Seed is doing this expansion build. He's never getting a Forge. And what that means is that all of his timings are a lot faster. I mean, sure, Zerding gets in there, but all that Zerding can see is that, oh no, he skipped his Forge. That means everything he does will be faster, because by now it's too late to really punish this build. So a really cool adaptation to the map done by Seed here. Everything's going to be much faster. And what he's going to do is he's going to try to corner boost out the Stalker. As soon as that Stalker pops out, he's going to hunt down that Zerglings. Of course, some stutter step micro. As soon as that Zergling's dead, he's going to unveil his plan. And that's going to be early gateway attack. And one thing, if you want to do early gateway attack, you cut probes for a little bit, right? You go up to like 30, 31 probes or whatever numbers you want to do. You cut them for just like 30 seconds to a minute. And in that 30 seconds to a minute, look at your income, right? 920 mineral income. That means if you cut probes, if you cut all spending, so you don't spend money on anything, for half a minute, that means you have 450 minerals. What can you do with those 450 minerals? You build your gateways. And then while your gateways are building, right, you go back to probe production. But the important thing is you just temporarily cut probes for a short amount of time. See, he's already back to building them. You just cut them for about 30 seconds to go ahead, and he basically cut 4 probes out of his build. That's 200 minerals. That 200 minerals helped get all these gateways a little bit faster to do this early gateway attack. Now, when you're doing this early gateway attack, we're going to fast forward up to where he actually moves out. It's very important to notice a couple things. One, he didn't cut 4 probes early, and that adds up to actually a lot of minerals lost over a longer game. He also has 0 tech going for him. He has no 3rd and 4th gas started, no Robo, no Stargate, no high sentry count, no hallucination, no nothing, right? Just a Mothership Core and a basic gateway army, right? So he has to strike straight to natural. If he attacks a 3rd, right, what happens? The Zerg gets up to 3rd, the Zerg amasses a bunch of units on top of this ramp, the Zerg defends the ramp, then you're in trouble because you're going to be at 38 workers, they'll be at like 45 maybe, so they'll have a little bit of economic advantage, and they'll be going up to speed roaches, and speed roaches will slaughter your basic gateway army unless you have a high sentry count, which he doesn't. So you got to go straight to the natural, got to strike at him at the head. knock the head off real quickly before they can catch up on units, because that's their advantage right now. It's a temporary unit advantage. Go real quickly right to the base. Look at this. Look at the army size difference. It's about 2,000 army value versus 1,000. Double army size. That's the moment you got to strike while you still have that. Before they can make a whole bunch of roaches and whatnot. You can see here, Sliber's actually having trouble spending his money because there was an overlord killed earlier. And it's just too much Protoss, man. Too much Protoss. I mean, it's more units coming at the back, but it's just, I mean, it's still, now it's 2,100 versus 600. You know, it's just not going to cut it from the Zerg side. So, use their early gateway attack, aim straight for the Zerg head, cut it off before they can build up an army that can beat you. Now, from a Zerg point of view, right? Let's back this up for just a second. Back this up for just a second. Zerg point of view. Let's look at what Sniper did that made him die so easily to that attack. So, the first thing I want to talk about is most Zergs tech at 7 minutes lair. Some Zergs like Rattle tech later typically, but you know, they love drones a whole lot. Average lair is 7 minutes, but Sniper cut a lot of his economy early to go ahead and get that extractor, right? He wants to tech his lair. Look at this. He's going to tech it at 610. Very fast lair tech. That means he's cutting a lot of economy. If you cut that economy, it means that you won't be able to build as many roaches. If you won't be able to build as many roaches, you can't hold those attacks. They normally can hold those roaches with roaches, right? You just can't do it. You don't have the money. You can only get a couple roaches. If you're short on funds, how do you hold these attacks? You got to go for spine crawlers, right? And so, especially you're already short on funds, spending another 200 minerals, 150 for the roach warren, 50 for the drone, 200 minerals more in that roach warren, it strains your economy too much. You can't do it. You can see there he got the roach warren, then he got what, like 4 roaches out. It's not going to work. So if you want to hold these gateway taxes there, you either got to, you know, do a much faster type of tech build, or sorry, a much slower tech build where you have a lot more money, you can build a lot more roaches. Or the other option is, don't build the roaches, right? Just don't even worry about it. Those 200 minerals, you can spend, instead of getting roaches, go ahead, oops, sorry guys. Instead of getting roaches, all you do is you build spine crawlers, right? Spine crawlers can defend quite easy. You go ahead and build a spine crawlers. Now, the thing to mention is your turret's going to die. Well, you know what? If they attack that early and you tech layer that fast, you've got a big tech advantage. You can play 2 base versus 2 base because you either go in mutas, you have total map control because they don't even have 4 gas, so they can't really get good upgrades on Blink and Storm, or they can't go double Stargate, right? Or you're going Swarm Host, which means they'll be really cost efficient because they don't have detection or any AoE, or high mobility with Blink. Or you're going Infestors, which again will be very cost efficient with this gateway units, or you're going even just going to speed Roaches. You'll have the Roaches with speed and burrow against the basic. You'll be cost efficient no matter what you're going. So all you need to do is hold your 2 bases. So if they're moving out like that, don't get the Roach Warren that early. It's not going to help you out. You want to build spine cores, and here's the one thing about spine cores everyone makes a mistake. Not everyone. Every weaker player makes a mistake on. Let me actually adjust this. We'll put it right here. So this is what a lot of guys I see. I when I coach, they'll build spine cores. They're like, I want to spine core this thing, right? So I'll build my spine cores right here, right? Well, let's think about what happens when the Protoss attacks are going to be very stalker heavy, right? So what do stalkers do? Let's use yellow. This spine core right here, how many stalkers can hit that spine core on hedge? Well, all the stalkers, right? Like, literally, they could have about, and they could even put some more in here too. And they could have some more in here, right? They could literally have like 20 stalkers attack your spine core. Why are you holding the ramp if you can be hit by 20 units? It's not going to work, right? And the same thing with this spine core, and pretty much everyone but the one in the dead center is just going to die instantly. Not to mention the fact that your spine cores further back will never attack them. So you want to hold this ramp. Where do you put the spine cores? You put them right here. And then this line will go up. You can put it more up into the right. Why do you do it like this? Well, you can put about 6 spine cores in that arc there. How many stalkers can shoot them, right? Any one of these spine cores right here, they want to attack those guys with stalkers, what do they have to do? Oops. They can put maybe like 1, 2, 3 stalkers can hit that guy. Or like these 3 could hit this guy. Maybe they could grab like, at most maybe 6, right? But the whole idea is that they can't, I mean, it's going to be ineffective. Or they can run forward and then attack, but that's where your Zergans and your drones start to mob them. They're under fire as they go forward. Put your static defense back from the ramp. The ideal spot to attack them, you're going to make sure they can't hit you from the low ground with very many. Maybe if like 1 or 2 can shoot from low ground, that's okay, but not the whole low ground. And you want to attack them, you want to force them to go on the ramp. So your max range should be at the middle of the ramp or at the top of the ramp, somewhere in that zone. Not hugging the ramp, because that defeats the whole purpose of the choke point. So, yeah, if you want to defend those timings, either don't tech so fast. If you tech so fast, use spine crawlers. That wraps up game number 3. We'll take a short break. Be right back with game number 4.